Hi everyone, so today I will be showing you how to do this Valentine's Day inspired look. There's going to be a lot of palettes used. I'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 palettes used. Sorry. I don't have a lot of pinks, but I did want to create something kind of pinkish, so I used a bunch of different palettes. I hope you all enjoy. So I started out by using Shape Tape's concealer as the first base for my eyeshadow. I like to do 2 layers of base. It just really helps the color stay on and it looks better. For the second layer, some UD primer potion, and really gonna pat that in so that way we don't smear what is under it. Starting the transition shades, I'm going to be using this first lightest pink color in the Morphe 35N palette and just swiping that all throughout my crease and slightly blowing it out at the outer corner. I'm going to go in with the next darkest pink shade and just keep trying to add depth to that color and to the crease. Going in with the third Morphe shade just to really emphasize, and I'm mostly blowing it out at the outer corner. Using this shade from the Naked Heat palette, I'm just trying to again create more depth in the outer corner and into the crease itself. And then after I blend it all out using a blending brush, I love this Urban Decay brush because the bullet point end is so sharp, but it's also so good at blending. I'm so glad I got this palette and the brush in the palette. It's just such a lifesaver when doing really defined outer corners. Using the same brush I used to define the outer corner with the Naked Heat palette, I'm just using this shade to, again, add more definition. Now I'm using Tarte Shape Tape concealer to add a cut crease, and I kind of just went slow and steady with this. It takes quite a bit of practice to get it just right, and usually I kind of like have my eye half open and dot right in my crease to start the line. I don't know why I didn't do it this time, but I do that usually when I try and do cut creases. Before the song goes off, back like we used to. This time I won't lose you. I still adore you. You were always love. I'm gonna show you just how I feel before the song goes off. So good to see you here. We both know it's been. Just really quick here, I wanted to show you guys how I clean up the crease area if I do mess up. Using my really beaten Shadow Couture palette from Anastasia, taking that shade, it's called Intense Gaze, and just packing this onto where I put the concealer on for the cut crease.
It's like you complete me and I'm lost.
I'm going to use an angled brush, just clean up that shape. And now I'm going to use the color Hot Pants just to intensify pinkness. This is just comparing before and after Hot Pants, and using Pink Sugar from the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette to intensify that. Putting on primer, I just really put it on my nose, my forehead, especially above the brows, and then under my eye because I crease there a lot.
I don't know what to call it.
I didn't keep much of the foundation part just because it's pretty basic how I put on foundation with the beauty blender. And here I'm using 2 different shades of Shape Tape, because one is like the lightness I need and the other is the undertone that I need.
You could never handle this life, but darling, my intentions are right. Cause once you're in my arms, I'm thinking I'm invincible. I love you, girl. Ooh. 7 in the morning, 12 in the evening, 10 at night, I need you by my side.
This is a little part where I got mad at myself because every time I do blowout eye looks, I always, when I put foundation on, mess up on my right eye and blend it too far in, so then I have to later fix it. I like to use a liquid contour more than a stick because I feel it's easier to control when blending out, and I just overall like the way it looks. I feel like it's more predominant, especially with my cheek contour, because I do like a really intense cheek contour. And with this brush, I'm really patting the contour into my nose. I used to kind of like swirl it in, but I found that took off a lot of the product I already had on my nose. And then I used the beauty blender just to fix it a little bit.
Whatever, I wanna see us together. You think that I'm acting shady.
I'm using really light pressure on the cheekbones just because I don't like my contour to be too blended out, but at the same time I do want it to blend into my skin. And then on my forehead I use a stronger pressure just to really work it into my skin.
Oh, baby, I just wanna please you, never wanna leave. Baby girl, I need you in my life. 'Cause once you're in my arms, I'm thinking I'm invincible. I love you, girl.
With this highlighter, you really don't want to let it sit because it will dry and it does not look good when it's dried. And then right after this is where my camera died, so I come back to the frame with my hair curled and my highlight is all done and my eyebrows are done because my camera died and I had to wait like 20 minutes for my battery to charge a bit. With the airspun powder in the first brush, I just pat it into the zones where I used the concealer, and then I used the fluffier brush to pat it into the rest of my face. Okay, don't judge me, my palette's kind of a wreck, but if I still have some product left, I'm not going to toss it out. I like a more intense cheek contour, so I'm going to use a lot of bronzer on my cheeks and then just use a light amount on my forehead and my jawline. And then using the fluffier brush I used earlier with the setting powder, just blending out the very inside of the bronzer so that way I don't have a really harsh line and it's not too far into my face. Using the Alice of the Looking Glass palette, I'm going to use the color Lily just for an inner corner highlight. I did forget to show the brush that I'm using for this, but I just use a long fibered stippling brush. Going back into the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette, I'm using the color Cake and just smudging that all on my lower lash line for a pop of color. This is the Tarte Double Take Liner. It has a liquid and an automatic pencil side, and I'm using the liquid pen side to create a nice winged eyeliner.
I got what you need, I know what you like. Good digging dollar signs,
So with the X-rated mascara, I do use about 3 coats, but I wait in between coats and switch to put mascara on the other eye, because if you put it on right away, it just makes your lashes clumpy. And waiting a little bit for one layer to dry helps ensure that you still have the length and the volume, and your lashes don't get super clumpy.
Are you the baddest? Yeah, you're the baddest. That's why I love taking you down. We smoking a pound. I'm getting you high.
When it comes to eyelash glue and eyeliner, I just find it better to use dark because that way it meshes in with the eyeliner and it makes your lashes look thicker. I also really like using this more pointy type of tweezers just because it helps me really get in there and push the lashes better than regular flat angle tweezers. I hope you have enjoyed this video, so please like, subscribe, comment, share if you really like the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.